In a major boost to synergize the Indian Armed Forces coordinated response, the blueprint of Integrated Theatre Command is in its last legs of finalization. This concept emphasizes on the continuity and streamlined approach of all the three branches of defense forces in the face of enemy's attack on India. Today, we decode what exactly is this integration that goes in the military parlance as theaterization or the Integrated Theatre Command. We will also take a quick look at its history in the Indian context and whether this concept of mobilization of the three forces exists elsewhere. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to In-Depth. Combining the resources of all the three services, that is the Army, Navy and Air Force under a single commander to secure a particular geographical area is known as Integrated Theatre Command. The goal of the Theatre Command system is to increase cooperation between the three components of the armed forces. A unified command will be established and headed by a single commander in place of separate commands or commanders for the Army, Navy and Air Force. This integration process would ultimately lead towards the unified military assets fused into one single command under one operational head who will be responsible for directing and controlling their activities in a given situation. The Indian Armed Forces currently have 17 commands. There are 7 commands each of the Army and Air Force, while the Navy has 3 commands that are headquartered at the 3 sites India is surrounded by oceans, that is Western, Eastern and Southern. A 4-star military commander is in charge of each command. Although this integration plan is still being finalized, but there are 2 entities that work almost on the concept of the Integrated Theatre Command. At present, there are 2 joint services commands in India. The first one is ANC, that is Andaman and Nicobar Command, and the second one is the SFC, that is Strategic Forces Command. Based on the principle of theatre command system, the ANC, that is the Andaman and Nicobar Command, is considered to be the only one of its kind in the country that amalgamates the Army, Navy and the Air Force. The SFC or the Strategic Forces Command takes care of the nuclear assets of India and is not related to any specific theatre of war. Set up in 2001, ANC is based in Port Blair and is led by officers of the 3 services on a rotation basis. The command covers India's strategic interests in Southeast Asia and the Malacca Strait. The recommendation to create such unified theatre of command was put forward first by the D.B. Shekatkar Committee after the Kargil War. It had recommended the creation of 3 integrated theatre commands, that is Northern Integrated Command for the China border, Western Command for the Pakistan border and Southern Command for the maritime role. In 2019, the appointment of the CDS, that is Chief of Defence Staff, and the creation of the Department of Military Affairs were 2 momentous steps toward the integration and advancement of defence forces. After General Rawat was named Chief of Defence Staff in January 2020, he met with the Vice Chiefs of the Armed Forces to brainstorm potential designs for these commands. The current CDS, Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan, has also made the theatrization his top priority. The current theatrization model under consideration seeks to set up at least 6 new integrated commands. The first phase involves the creation of Air Defence Command and Maritime Theatre Command. The Air Defence Command will control air defence resources of all 3 services and will be tasked with protecting military assets from airborne enemies. It will be headed by a top 3-star Indian Air Force officer and will be based in Prayagraj. On the other hand, the Maritime Theatre Command will be responsible for securing India from seaborne threats and will have Army and Air Force elements. It will also be headed by a top 3-star Indian Navy officer and will be based out of Karwar, Karnataka. Ultimately, India is expected to have 3 other integrated commands to secure its western, northern and eastern fronts. Additionally, a logistics command is in the works to avoid duplication of efforts and resources. Now, do such models exist anywhere else? Yes. Various countries around the globe already have some form of theatre or joint commands in place to bring better integration among their military forces. USA was the first country to enforce a theatre command system. It has 6 geographical, 4 functional and 1 airspace command presently in place. Russia also started with the restructuring of its defense forces in 2008 and has 4 theatre commands. China's theatre command system is said to be based on the US model and has 5 peacetime geographical commands. India's arch enemy, Pakistan, has also been seeking Beijing's help to reorganize its forces under the same military concept. Such integration offers numerous benefits. First, improved troop acclimatization to the given battle zone will help them understand the operational requirements in the designated area of operation. Then, the distribution of military hardware such as weapon systems, command, control, communication and tools and combat support elements will be theatre specific and lead to resource optimization. Furthermore, understanding the training needs and administrative requirements of the troops will enable specialization and appropriate improvement of war drills at all levels. And last but not the least, for speedy mobilization and appropriate use during the anticipated brief high-intensity combat, the equipments can be purchased, maintained and pre-positioned without going through bureaucratic labyrinth. These were all the important points with respect to India's Integrated Theatre Command that is likely to see the light of day very soon. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you for watching.